Having a nice car in your 20s is rather a pleasure. Matter of fact, it's actually really cool because once life hits you, you're probably not going to end up having this. Or if you do have it, good for you. But something you should always do is make sure that this beautiful car of yours is always protected. Now, there's a lot of people out there that try to get easy money, and that's with insurance scams there. But I got something special. So this was a mod that I got. This isn't sponsored. This isn't somebody saying, hey, I want you to review this. I simply got a dash cam because a lot of New York drivers are very stupid. And, since I'm moving across the country, I wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to be involved with that kind of scenario. And if I was, then I have it all recorded. Now, this is the REDTIGER F17. It was recommended by my friend that has an M4 in Indiana, and it looks really cool. Super easy to install, so let's go ahead and install this, and then we'll see how it is. The only thing is it comes with a rear camera, and I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to install that on this guy, because this is a hatchback. So if you guys didn't know, on an F36, it's a hatchback, meaning this entire thing comes up, versus a sedan would essentially have this thing be here, and then you just have the trunk. So I don't necessarily think I'm going to be able to use the rear cam. I know you might already be saying like, well, what's the point of having that and having security? Well, at least I have some security, and that is towards the front, because a lot of them like to say that you rear-ended them by, well, them just stopping in front of you and then brake checking you. So the very first step is just to wipe around the Easy Pass and the rear view mirror with some isopropyl alcohol. Now the reason why I did it with isopropyl alcohol is because usually when you do glass cleaner, it does leave a little bit of a film residue behind, and when you're sticking adhesive to it, it doesn't usually stick all that well. So use isopropyl alcohol, it'll work just as fine. So the area is clean. I have an electrostatic sticker that I have to peel off and put onto the windshield. This is the dash cam, so we could put it right here next to the Easy Pass, which honestly probably wouldn't even be that bad of a thing. You could adjust it however, or we could put it in front, which honestly that might be a little bit better. It's just going to obstruct my freaking view completely at this point. I might end up switching this out to a smaller one. I'm not 100% sure, but what do you guys think? Right there? Or should we do it to that point? Probably are going to be barely able to see this, but the sticker's on there. Not that it really does anything, I have no idea, but obviously I kind of wish it would, be careful with it. Just do one set at a time like I didn't do. Otherwise you'll get a bunch of bubbles, which I definitely got. So next it's time to actually mount the hardware. Now it's literally just a sticky square, then you attach the 3M bracket to the actual camera. Then I'm routing the wire up through the rear view camera up into the ceiling or the roof, and then into the passenger side A-pillar. Now this is where it gets a little tricky. So this is my only thing here, is that I don't know how I can squeeze this enough into it. Unless you went directly over the airbag from the A-pillar and then went down, you could probably do that. But again, that's not actually as easy as it seems. As long as it's not going to come out. Or maybe not. Maybe I just completely lose 3 clips that go right down into no man's land. Now for ease of access, it is just better to remove the entire A-pillar cover where you can basically look at the airbag. And at that point, you should be able to route it enough to where you can get to the other side of the dashboard that is closed by the door. After that, it's up to you on how you want to route things. I wanted it just to be serving its purpose, so I routed it just straight through the glove box. I didn't even hide it. So I want you guys to see something here. Theoretically, let's just say you wanted a really clean install and you wanted to run it completely through the dashboard. That way, all you had to worry about was basically seeing this and maybe that, unless you did it a different way so it's a lot cleaner, right? Well, here, this is how you would run it through. You'd go through the back side of this guy, which you just unscrew. I think there's like probably T20 screws. There's 3 of them on the top here. And then you'd essentially fish it all the way through. Here's where the tricky part is. You'd essentially have to take out this unit here, which is the radio part of the infotainment system that's in the center console. So if you really want to make sure that this thing looks flush and clean, you take that out, you take this out, and then you run the wire just like I did for this guy for the aux and Apple CarPlay. I'm not doing that at all. Hell no. Listen, I understand cleanliness and stuff, but at some point in time you have to understand that some things are maybe a little too far for the objective that you're trying to just achieve. So it looks good from basically here until here, which again, it's up to you, personal preference. If I had the time, if I had the want, yeah, I'd probably fish it in some way because I think it'd look a lot cleaner, a lot better. But this is what the dash cam looks like. It's very nice quality. You can see the entire cabin. I do think, and I wish that this had more of like a swivel to it. That way you could be like, oh, I want to kind of angle it in a different way. Obviously the power shut off. Another thing too is that it would be a lot easier if this thing was two different pieces. That way, if you did want to fish it and you didn't want to take out this entire thing just to feed this little cigarette lighter through, it'd be a lot better as well. Honestly, I would get this a solid 100 out of 10. Like, the thing is awesome, but it's $180, so that's where it kind of gets you. But again, $180 to have security or risk-free and just drive like you want and then not have the security and then end up costing a fortune. That's really what it is.